The big junior for the Temple Owls, and that's Anthony Lee. Anthony, it's Zach Gelb and Chase Sr. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
We're doing great. We appreciate you coming on. And this is a Temple basketball team that went deep into the tournament last year, and they lost some big senior pieces, whether it was Khalif Wyatt, Scooty Randall, or Jake O'Brien. And now a lot of people are counting on you to be that leader for this basketball team coming up to the 2013-2014 campaign. How do you embrace that leadership role?
Just by, coming to practice every day, trying to be a good example, do some of the things I need to do, try to be consistent every day in practice. Because we've been practicing since the summer, so we've been here a lot, so it feels longer than what it really has been. But it's just about keeping yourself healthy, making sure everybody, is doing what they have to do, and just trying to be that rebound and consistent scorer that I know I'm capable of, since we've lost, a lot of good key components, especially Khalif White. So I'm not going to take up more of that load.
What's happening, Anthony? It's Chase Sr. Thanks for joining the show. Past couple of years, we've seen this offense really stick to a certain system, and this year it seems as though a lot of the players on the roster are really athletic. They can run up and down the floor. They got bunnies. They can jump. They can dunk. Are we going to see a different type of style of play under Fran Dunphy that we haven't really seen in previous years?
Yeah, I feel like we would definitely see a different style as far as, we have a lot of young guys, so, they've come from different programs or they've sat out and had their games have always been, looking to push up the floor compared to what we've had in the past with, the older seniors who were, very comfortable with getting into half-court, offense. I think we'll have a different look, because, as you guys know, I like to run the floor, so definitely have to look up. I feel like we could be like a team like Indiana because we do have shooters. We have people that can run the floor like me that can get up ahead. So I think we have it in us. We just have to, execute on the plays and look up and do those things that we have to do when we run it out.
Anthony Lee joins us on the hotline, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. Cherry and White Night is tonight at the Liacouras Center. And, Anthony, there was a lot of games last year where Temple showed their dominance. That Syracuse game and the way that you played really stood out to me. But then there were some games, whether you look at Indiana or Kansas, where you guys were the better team that day, but you couldn't close out the game in the final 2 minutes. Has Coach Dunphy put a lot of emphasis on finishing out games so far early on in these practices?
A little bit. He just talked to us about, especially with this team, we want to be real careful with the ball because, we all going to want to play fast because we have a lot of young guys. But when it gets to crunch time and we're in the game, we want to kind of, play mature even though we really might not be as experienced as we, look on paper. But he's trying to teach us now to be mature when it comes to end of the game situation. So we play a lot of 5-minute games, a lot of 10-minute games, like it's the end of the game to see how we can hold the lead, and he puts a lot of emphasis on that. So I think that's going to be one of the key components that's going to help us when we are in games and when we do have a lead in the second half, late in the second half.
And you're used to getting to the NCAA tournament, and with the young group, do you look at that experience from last year, and how do you implement that into the game of going to the NCAA tournament last year and playing pretty well?
Basically, we don't put too much pressure on the young guys. They went there, so the guys have been there. They know what it tastes like just being there. So I know they're hungry. They want to go back there and actually play in that type of atmosphere. I've been blessed and fortunate to be in 3 straight years of, win a game, and go to the next round. But, with this team, we have good, high expectations regardless of what we may look like. You know what I'm saying? So we really want to win 20 or more games, and we want to prove people wrong and try to get into the tournament.
And you had a breakout year last year and solidified yourself as one of the best big men in the city. I know you put on some weight during the off season, but what have you really worked on with your skill set to improve yourself and better yourself even more?
My skill set, I would say that I've been doing, a lot of, the post work that I've, got my hook shots and facing up. Now just shooting a jump shot more so I can be even more of a threat so I can use my job more effectively because I'm able to drive on people. But now when I make that shot, now they have to actually think about whether they're going to come out on me
right.
or play straight up on me. So the jump shot is something I'm working on a lot more, to be more consistent with. Hit a couple, but it's about being more consistent when I have the ball in my hand.
Yeah, now, when you look at that trip to Europe, so much in basketball and sports isn't just about how a team gets along on the court. It's also about how they get along off the court as well and in the locker room. How did that trip help you guys kind of form a different friendship, because there are a lot of young guys on this team, a couple of new faces, and how does that help you prepare yourself for the upcoming year?
It definitely helps us because we were able to get closer faster off the court and have a bond where we can just get to know each other, know each other's personalities. And when it comes to practicing, since, like I said, since we've been here like in July, we've been able to practice and get a good feel for each other. Now it's just about, like I said, executing and being really, really comfortable with each other, because for the outset, the first 2 months, trying to get used to each other, because a lot of us haven't played with each other. I haven't really played with nobody that's been here, that's on the current team, except for Will. So everybody else is kind of new to me as far as playing on the court. So it was good to go overseas because we were able to see some good things, see some good potential that we have, and build some good chemistry. So I think that will help us when we get into the beginning of the season, and we're just ready. We're just ready to start playing against other teams. We've been beating up on each other. You know, it's about that time where everybody's ready to just go and beat up on another team and show what they've been working on.
A few more questions with Anthony Lee. Cherry and White Knight is tonight. And Ant, last year you and O'Brien were a nice duo on the court, and Raleigh also was exceptional down the stretch. His season really started to get going in that LaSalle game where he just went off. But some of the new big guys this year, Mark Williams, and you also have Jimmy who returns. What are you seeing out of those two players so far?
With Jake being, gone, he's able to be a good foreman that can stretch the floor, and he's able to look inside to me, or, I can be outside or do whatever. Jimmy, Devontae, and Mark, we have basically those two big men, Mark and Jimmy, are like the same way. They're like a stretch forward in a way, because Mark, he shoots outside pretty good, to be coming in. And Devontae is good, good getting off of the rebounds and just making his presence. So when it comes to dump offs and things like that, so whoever starts at the 4, because most likely I will be playing the 5. Whoever starts at the 4, they will be able to have the opportunities to make shots, especially the outside. If I'm playing with Devontae, I'll probably be playing the 4 just because he's more overload post guy, but the other guys, pretty much kind of play outside, so I have to kind of play that 5 role again.
Right.
So that's how it would be, how we would kind of implement each other, like how we kind of did last year with Jake and Alvarez.
You guys have gotten to play with each other more so than previous years with that trip to Europe, and now that practices have started. I know it's kind of a small sample size, but who's really stuck out to you so far in the squad?
I would say that stuck out to me the most so far. Well, I would say 2 people. As a freshman, I would say Josh. His defensive tenacity.
He's going to get a lot of burn this year.
Yeah, a lot. He pushes the ball to the floor. It's really key for us. And it helped Will a lot because it makes us a more faster team. And
yeah.
He plays under control too, which is good. And then I would just say for somebody that's here, that's been here already, I would definitely have to say, just from watching practice, I would say Will. I think you guys would be real surprised to see he'll be one of the most improved players. If he can get that in this conference, with us entering for the first time, he might be able to get that award if he just keeps playing. He's done a lot of good things and shown a lot of good improvements and strides over the summer and into the practices that we haven't seen before.
I know you got to get to conditioning, so final one here right before we let you run. It's Cherry and White Knight tonight. Why should some fans... yeah, right? I'm sure you're happy with us talking with you, getting out of some Fran Dunphy conditioning. But what should fans expect coming out to Cherry and White Knight tonight?
They should expect a lot of fun, man. Just us seeing the introduction, us having a lot of fun, a lot of different things that we haven't done like last year as far as just interacting with the fans and doing those good things. So they should have a good time tonight.
Well, let's continue to talk to you throughout the rest of the season. Best of luck coming up to the season. Have some fun tonight at the Cherry and White Knight. We appreciate it, Ant.
All right, yeah, definitely. It's going to be a good night.
All right, Ant. See you tonight.
Anthony Lee.